A Quiet Place Day 1 is a roaring success. Remember Independence Day, War of the Worlds, Presidents,
Independence Day.
Top Guns, Top Drunks.
Oh, boys! I'm back!
But what about him? Or her? Or Rover? Wiped from the history books to remember the wrong people, the wrong men, when what the world needed was a woman. A pizza-loving Catwoman with cancer. On her noble quest through New York City to eat one last slice of pizza before becoming fertilizer, a fellowship. Feline Frodo and Eric, who always feels like crying. A white male simp who's simply shorn of the dead after wetting the bed. A Quiet Place Day 1 is every alien zombie movie ever, but better. In the first Quiet Place, the alien was unseen, unheard, but scarier than a red turd. Like Alien, it wasn't on screen until the final third. It was a true phantom menace, a Lovecraftian horror crafted to perfection. In Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, it brought its friends and came out of its hole like a mole in Whack-A-Mole. With each new Alien movie, the creatures multiply like crabs. Day 1 is no exception, for New York now has more monsters in it than Jurassic Park. There are more illegal aliens on screen than on the US border. A Quiet Place borders between the ridiculous and the sublime, while deporting all mystery and suspense and common sense. It took 1 hour and 18 minutes to see the monster up close in Part 1. Over an hour to work out its greatest weakness in Part 2. In Day 1, the US government has it all worked out within one afternoon.
That was fast.
These killer alien eggplants are as blind as bats, but have the hearing of an 86-year-old Democrat. Drop one pin and they'll rip you limb from limb, but breathe within 3 feet, and they can't hear shit. As the apocalypse unfolds, white male characters fold like cards. They're screaming for their mamas or being smothered by alphas. Pull over, Bill Pullman. Cruise on by, Tom. In this film, the white man must die. Step forward, a hero for a modern apocalypse, a woman for a new era of alien invasion entertainment. The Black Panther, Maz Kanata, Catwoman Sam, who ain't no man, but like Howard and Kumar, has the munches. The only thing that can separate her from a successful trip to White Castle is separation from the one cat to rule them all. A cat named Frodo who looks like Smudge and gets lost in New York more than Kevin McAllister. If Samwise Iongo used her leash on little Frodo, this movie would be shorter than a sitting president's memory. Much of the runtime is Lupita running after her cat, chasing pussy. Frodo is a symbol. Men are the mice, aliens the cats. On her noble quest for crust, pizza at Patsy's, Sam and Frodo run into something more grotesque than Gollum, more shit-scary than Shelob. A white man in a suit, and boy does he love his suit. Eric, the British law student, follows the law of 007, leaping onto a runaway train, speeding down the River Thames. James Bond would rather die than remove his necktie. The end of the world is no excuse for Eric to let loose. But it is an excuse for a good old cry. Of all the creatures on screen, Eric is the most emotional. I wonder why. In his first scene, Sam and Frodo find him struggling to breathe, a flooded subway entrance. At times, one may think he was drowning in his own tears, for he cries more than George Lucas after a few beers.
I'm so sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Out.
Dad, I got your voucher.
Out!
Sam, of course, is the strong one. There is only one time she loses her cool and lets everything fly, the inciting incident when a white guy says no to her trip for pie.
Mr. McAllister, here's your very own cheese pizza.
The Fellowship of the Left Wing move through Manhattan like tourists on a tour through Hollywood Disaster Boulevard. I Am Legend, War of the Worlds, The Last of Us. If you think you've seen it all before, that's because you have. The Brooklyn Bridge should be renamed the Will Smith Bridge. It has now been fucked more times than
Jada? Oh, wow!
On their adventure through dystopia, they had Joel and Ellie, run-down apartments, flooded subway stations, a crumbling church. There is even a scene where they must move Frodo across water on a crate. Day 1 is PlayStation 3. Maybe day 2 will be HBO. Remember when Ellie found drugs for a dying Joel? Eric does the same for Sam, but at least this time they're not cornered by a perverted white man.
Please tell me your name.
Where you going, kids? Hey, I just want to talk to you.
The girl from Us is in The Last of Us, yet Day 1 is also War of the Worlds for a modern world. A close encounter? Check. Bombed out church? Check. Boat rescue? Check. The only thing Day 1 doesn't have is Tom Cruise running from marriage, or David Miscavige. The alien space invaders have impenetrable armor and crisscross the cosmos like fireflies, but no amount of plot armor can save them from their fatal flaw. What is it? Nuclear radiation? Windows 95? The Common Cold? No, something far more dangerous, far more destructive. The mind of M. Night Shyamalan.
Swing away, Meryl. Swing away, Meryl.
Yes, they really are killer cats from Planet Shush, as they fear nothing more than slaughter from a glass of water. While they're not quite as hydrophobic as the hypersensitive hairless aliens in Signs, the quiet ones are always one bath away from slipping away. Perhaps next time advanced spacefaring alien species should turn left at the blue planet and head to one that isn't 70% made up of instant death. Let's just hope these ones brought umbrellas. After working their way through Hollywood homage, Catwoman, Cat Frodo, and Can't Stop Crying arrive at Pizza Planet. Bad news, they're closed. It turns out pizzerias do not make bread when everyone's dead. Thus marks the saddest moment in the movie. Not the millions massacred, all the men, women, and children ripped from their loved ones' arms and ripped apart by merciless killing machines, but a true disaster, a real tragedy. Sam won't get her pizza. If there's one thing worse than the end of the world, it's when the pizza shop's closed. A woman's gotta eat. Just when all looks lost, 00 Eric has found a jazz bar across the street and Terminal Woman goes full Terminal Man. Day 1 has soul. In a scene that will rip your heart out before the creatures rip out hers, Sam remembers her father playing jazz. Somehow, Eric even finds a freshly cut, perfectly preserved pizza in the back. Who said the end of the world can't have a happy ending? Bon appetit. Now her tummy is full and her belly tickled, Sam has a plan. Save the white man, as long as he saves her white cat. The boat! Get them to the boat! War of the Worlds meets Lord of the Rings. Bon voyage! But there's a problem. There's more illegal aliens on the dock than on a banana boat out of Calais. What to do? What to do? Of course! The Last of Us playbook. What would Ellie do? Sam smashes car windows and the alien bloodhounds come running. Although established in previous movies that so much as a fart would be fatal, Sam is unscathed. Smash, smash, the aliens dash, but again and again, can't find their asses from their elbows. Eric Bond and feline Frodo sail off into the sunset, the beginning of a beautiful friendship. The aliens with the most acute sense of hearing in the universe still can't find Sam. God knows how they found Earth. The first wave of attacks must have been the Forrest Gump division. As Eric departs, he reads a beautiful letter. Don't forget to feed Frodo. Wait, what? Did she run out of ink? In downtown Manhattan, Sam is feeling good. How do we know? She's in the hood listening to, Feeling Good. Nina Simone. But it's time to go home. The final shot, final glory. Sam unplugs her iPod earbuds and blasts full volume. Surely the end of Sam's journey, although with these aliens, one wouldn't be surprised to see her in Part 3, running for president. A Quiet Place Day 1 is every alien zombie movie ever, but better. A pizza-loving Catwoman with cancer, surviving disaster. Aliens who can't swim but will rip you limb from limb when they eventually find you. A British businessman with no agency who dresses like a secret agent. A cat called Frodo who is always on the go. Day One is the greatest alien zombie invasion cat survival story ever told.
Tangy red dead center on the dough, then use the cheese to show.
Sure, I think you should take a look at. Whoa!